I'm a little over this media portrayal of married men. Watched some of the change up yesterday. I personally did put it on, but it was just on, and I don't like how it's portraying men. You've got Jason Bateman playing this lawyer family man, and you got Ryan Reynolds as his best friend who's single and has no care in the world. Don't care about Ryan Reynolds' character, let me tell you. I care about Jason, who plays Dave in the movie. Um, YouTube censored something in the beginning of it, I guess, and I didn't on the first watch. I just see Jason feeding his daughters. Cool, that's funny because he was tumbling. It's early in the morning, but then he gets to work. Why and then he's fantasizing about his female coworker, or you can just tell he has attraction to her. Didn't know he was married at the time, and I was like, oh, that sucks. Single dad struggles, I guess. Shoulda locked in with the ex. Didn't know the story there though. Like I said, dang kid, you got hair in my mouth. You then find out he's married, and it's like, whoa, that is not okay. What are we doing? So that's red flag number one. And then it just progressively gets worse because Jason plays Dave, and his best friend Ryan Reynolds comes over. Excuse me. And Jason's character Dave, he puts his two youngest daughters in their chairs to feed dinner, but they're crying. They're crying. They're ready for dinner. His wife's cooking, getting it ready, and he's like, "Deuces, we're out." It's like, what, brother? Your kids need you. They're not just content. They're not even looking at mom right now. You're just leaving for them to look at the wall. Again, this isn't Jason. This isn't who he is in real life. But he played this character well, which was a bad dad and a bad husband. And then we get to the bar. They're drinking. It's progressively getting, they're getting drunk, and they're being boys. But Ryan Reynolds is talking about how he's going through life, and really it was Dave. It was Dave asking "Oh, tell me about these ladies." He's curious because you can tell he misses that lifestyle for consequences of his own actions. And so he's hearing about it, and then as his friend described this one lady, he's like, "Oh, that sounds like Sabrina, the coworker. Come here." And I was blown away. I was like, "Are we for real right now? You have 3 daughters and a wife at home. What are we talking about?" And they have the whole bar scene, and then they're walking up to the fountain scene. But he's just like, "I wish I had your life. Just partying, loose, carefree." And then he said, "I pissed away my 20s. I remember that. That has stuck with me. And I'm like, I believe it was in conjunction to him, reflecting on his life and his daughters, that he had stuck with his wife because of they had their first daughter, and that he's just so miserable. Oh gosh, that upset me. And as a young kid, this is the first time I've ever seen this, but there's a lot of movies that portray males like this, and it's frustrating because it's media and fiction, there's a reason that has a lot of pull from reality. There's a lot of men who play adult games, have children, and then are stuck with this woman, and that's because we're pushed and in this mindset of Get with somebody who is attractive as possible. We don't care about the person they are. We just care, how attractive are you? And that's not me out here saying don't go for somebody you're attracted to. Absolutely. But if it's not somebody you can see a future with, like, that is not your person, and you should, enjoy the time together but move on. Like, the end goal and the whole point of dating is not just to date around. It is to become married. And sure, I'm pushing my morals, but my video. But again, pulling it from the adult perspective, it's also like, you made all the choices to be where you're at. You don't just suddenly get to where you're at. You made the decision to have your children, to continue to be with that person. So the fact that you have regrets is lack of you changing your life. That's kind of what I'm trying to get at. Like, you make the decisions where you're going every day. Your choices every day are going to affect you as soon as 30 years old. And are you going to be full of regret where you're at? Or are you going to, be grateful for where you're at? Because Dave felt like his children, his wife, were holding him down. In reality, like, he is one. That is the ideal lifestyle, is children. Your arms are meant to be full. And this whole philosophy that men should be anything other than that, it's so frustrating. It puts us in such a bad light that we don't want those things. I'm tired of men being, and this also goes with women, but this is just something I noticed off watching The Change Up, which is that we just are meant to, sleep with as many women as possible, not be grateful for the families we build, and not realize how grateful we are. It's absurd, and it's just, I don't know. It's not even like it's fiction, because at the workplace, there have been so many times where, like, the type of, like, as a dude, the types of jokes that get, talked about in the workplace. And, like, I feel like most times it gets started by men in a position like Dave, where they're married and have children, but they're still thinking about other women. And so the media isn't really playing a fantasy. The whole story is, but it's based in reality. Most times, you people are focused on other people instead of building more closer relationships with your partner. If you are, like, I just think it's such loser mentality, like, oh, I'm married with children, but I'm going to joke about other women, what I do, this, that, and the third. And another thing I just remembered that was brought up is the cancer list. And that, again, it's a joke in the movie, but I think there's a lot of dudes with that. And it's just, here's what I'm trying to get at. We as men need to stop being losers. We need to take accountability. You need to start working towards the life and the character and the person you want to become before you blink and somehow you're 30 and full of regret and ungratefulness. You are going to be that age regardless. It's going to pass. It's your responsibility to build to where you want to be at that time. The sooner we get out of this fantasies of other people outside a relationship, the sooner I think we'll get better. I'm tired of seeing this loser persona of men on the media. It's And that's going to be the video. I love you all. And Jesus loves you too.